Trying something new.
You did. It was working until that last part, that new sound. I'll get used to it. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Daphny Emily.
And I'm Eerees Iris.
And we are
Soulful She.
We are two bodacious beauties from Brockton, unraveling our truth on identity, mental health, empowerment, and fashion through conversations from the soul.
Yes, and yes. And as we always start, keeping it real quick, what's going on in your noggin this week, today, and right now?
I'm all right. I feel like I've gone to this standstill point where I'm like, I know I need to do certain things or create better habits, and I've just been very lazy and have not done them. So today I'm more frustrated with myself that I've planned things I need to do and I wake up early enough
to do it.
Keeping it real, my plan is to wake up early enough, do some stretching, maybe some jump roping, maybe a little, write down my plans in my agenda.
Ambitious.
Is it? Maybe that's why it hasn't been done yet. So just wake up early enough and at least stretch or something, because with working out, I feel like I really need to get more stretching in, because with weight training, you just need to relieve the soreness and stuff like that, and just kind of keep pushing on the flexibility.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, I'm trying to be 60 years old and can still bend down and touch my toes. So just keeping that in mind, but I haven't been able to do that. So today was one of the days that I'm just like, what was the reason you didn't? You were up at that time and you just still chose not to do it. So I'm just really I want to do this routine and I'm just not doing it. So that's where my mind is at. It's just really needing routines to do better. Also eat healthy, because this weekend I didn't do too well. Last week I did amazing, and then the weekend hit and I said, fuck it all.
What you mean?
I ate whatever I wanted. So, and I have places to be and things to wear, and I just need to reel it back. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm just kind of in a work is just work. Today I was just oh, I'm here again. I had taken Friday off, so it was definitely one of those things that today was oh, I guess I'll sign in.
I guess I'm back.
I guess I have to do this.
Let me respond to these emails.
And I feel like it's intentional when you have a day off, that they're everyone needs to email you, but any other time on a Friday, ain't nobody checking for me.
Yeah.
But this past Friday, everybody has something. I opened my email this morning. I was
what happened?
For what? I wasn't, y'all know I wasn't here, but whatever. Yeah. So right now I'm just yeah, that's it for me.
I will say, you said stretching, jump roping, and writing your agenda. I will also say I have been ambitious in that sense too. Have I done that? No, I've actually digressed as well. And I even put sticky notes on my mirror that was okay, 6 a.m. stretch, prepare coffee, the whole 9 yard. And literally I'm just at this point I stretch, and when I say stretch, I'm still in bed. I'm just moving
right,
slowly. I'm not actually yoga stretching, but yeah, I feel putting one at a time might be easier, and because that sounded a lot in the sense that list.
I just feel right now everyone's so tired, and I've heard into because everyone's just been home so much and all that stuff, serotonin levels are low, so, or high, I don't know which way, so people are just tired. And I think I'm just tired all the time, all day, every day, everywhere.
I feel you.
But you keep it real with me.
With the side eye. Keeping it real quick. It's bittersweet because I just came back from vacation. I know. and I was just taking in the sun, taking in the birds, taking in the beach, all of it, sunrises, the views, and I'm back.
Yo, coming back from vacation is the saddest thing ever. Because you can do that forever. I can vacation forever. At least be in the sun on the beach.
Yes. And it's good because like when I landed, I was sad to be gone, but I also was happy to be back because it's just like I have my family here, I have my friends here, I have things that I do love that are here. So it's like I wouldn't want to be in Mexico forever.
Right.
So
do you feel like you vacationed though? Because I feel like sometimes people go on trips, come back, and it's like it wasn't enough. But did it feel like, I got my taste of vacation, I'm good?
I got my first half of vacation. Like I'll say this. Yes, I have gotten my dose of vacation, but knowing that I am a Sag and Sag the 3-way, I'm looking for adventure 24/7.
Yeah.
And so like I'm definitely ready for the next one.
That's a great thing though, because it's been a while.
Yeah. So keeping it real quick, I am burned underneath in some certain areas. I am enjoying the aftermath of the high of still being in another place, but also happy to be back. Not happy to get ready for these gazillion emails that I need to, because the thing is that I can already imagine it's like all of the emails of last week and the emails that are gonna come now for this week. So I'm just like, ooh.
Catching up.
It's gonna be a struggle, but we are here and we will make it work.
Yes, I remember one job I had, we got a lot of emails in general. I went away for like almost 3 weeks and I came back to over 300 emails. And I was just like, why?
300? Wow. Sheesh.
Yeah. Didn't take me long to be like, I'm gonna look for a new job. So.
Ooh, that is
And
hilarious.
I sure did. I've never been so motivated to find another job than when I was at that job.
Ah, good to know. But with keeping it real quick, we transitioned into conversations of the soul, and I really like conversations of the soul because again, we break down juicy topics and get to know a little bit more about you, Daphne, and a little bit more about me through what that topic means to us. And I don't know why, but when we were discussing the topic for today, what kept popping in my head was friendships. And friends, and what does that look like, and how do we keep up with friends? What happens during friend breakups? And what do you look for in qualities of people when you are looking for friends or when you stumble upon beautiful people? And also, what does it mean to have friends while adulting?
Yeah.
Because that's a whole different story.
Life changes in general.
Exactly.
In adulting and managing other people other than just yourself.
Exactly. And that's another thing, because it's just like not only is it adulting or having friends while adulting, but also acknowledging the definition of adulting for you is different than a definition of someone else who might have like kids and other all sorts of responsibilities that are going on. So I think that I wanted to break friendship down.
Alrighty. I guess I'll from the topics that we have about friendships, I kind of want to start off with defining what a friendship is.
Ooh, okay.
So I kind of give a synopsis in my opinion. Me, I have friends. I feel like I get along with many people. There's people in different like groups that I see that like we're cool, we hang out in that moment. But like for me, there's like those friends that like we see each other when it's someone's birthday or something. Have fun. But then I have like my closest friends that like I'm talking to basically on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I like the other friends, like I might see you in 6 months and it's like, hey, but like my closest friends are people that I talk to often, maybe not every week, but like people that I have around that like when there's accomplishments or goals or like people that you have the conversations that are deeper than just
how was your day?
Right, but people that like if something's happening in one of their lives, like the support comes through for them, or if something's happening with me, they come through for me in certain ways.
Yeah.
So for me, like my closest friendships are definitely all women, you included, and me and you talk like every day. At this point, I'm just like, if there's an off day, I'm just like, I guess we need an off day. But like, we talk like every day. But it's you, and then I have 2 other girlfriends that we're always talking together. Like, we're all going through different phases of our lives, and we're all just there for it. And it's like we're not always together, but always wanting to get together.
Yeah.
And I've learned that like my friendships at this point with adulting have become like those friends are the friends that I want to get together and drink and talk. And that's like, those are my closest friends. And we just talk about any and everything. So for me, my friendships now, that's what it's defined. My closest friends are that small crew that we talk about any and everything when we get together. It's always a great time. And then we're there through the hard times and all of that. But then there's the friends I see around where it's just like, hey, good to see you again. You look lovely.
Yeah.
Turn up.
turn up.
So what about you?
What is my definition of a friendship? Well, I'll definitely say that like I use the word friends very loosely, because I feel like I might describe someone that's a friend in that category of, in the spectrum of like acquaintance, because we might have gone to college together, to like my best friends. And the thing is that I don't even think I don't call anybody best friends. Like I feel like I've been the child since elementary school that every year I had a different best friend. And so it was just more of like, then you're not really my best friend, because I feel like a best friend is like we've been there for so long together. But that could just be my definition of it. But I don't know, like I've always transitioned friends.
Yeah.
So I that's why I use friendship very loosely. And so my friend can be, you know, people that I went to college with, people that I went to work with, people that I like. Maybe a cousin of mine would always bring this person around, and so every time we partied, that person happened to be around. And so because we saw them since I saw them more than 3 times, like, you're a friend now. So like, again, I use the word friendship very loosely, but in my head, like my friends, like friends, I really call sisters or brothers. Like, yeah, I think that's how, like, I would, my best friends, and again, I use that very loosely because I don't really define, I don't have any, but like I would say the people that I'm closest with, I would consider them sisters or brothers. And it's more because, like, even my mom, like, if you are my friend and it's like my friend, then you know who my mom is, because like everybody knows who my mom is. And so if you know my mom, like, your family, basically.
I guess mine in a sense will be like my dad. Like my mom, most people haven't met. Like if you've met my mom, whoa, like, because I don't. Yeah, and you have, so there you go. But like I don't bring people around, so I've never grew up with the habit of having friends around the house.
Okay.
It's never been a thing for me. So like most of my friends don't know my mom, and I'm the same as you in the sense of like I don't say best friends. Like my niece, I'll say, is my best friend.
Yeah.
Or my sister will call me bestie. In that sense, for like people that are not blood, I don't call them best friends, but like my closest friends are like my homegirls. Like for me, I guess another way to define friends is like if a job opportunity comes up and I know someone that comes to mind, if I want to speak to someone about that other person, what do I call them? Are they my friend? Are they an acquaintance? Are there someone I know that'd be good for the job? I know like with my closest friends, I'll be like my homegirl easily, or one of my closest friends. But like someone that I've met that I'm cool with, if I have to question where we stand, then that's where I'm like, well, we're cool, but like, are they my friend? I think there's a long list of people I can think of now that I would see them and I would call them my friend with no issue, but they're not the people I'm calling up when I'm like, I hate everyone and I need to fight somebody and I need someone to hear me vent, or I'm gonna go off, or you know, or it's people that actually get my full personality. Not a lot of people get my full personality at all. My parents don't, so like for me,
So then when you are looking for friendships or looking at people to see, do I want, am I going to give you pieces of me that not everybody receives, and in that category being friends, but good friends, what is it that you are looking for, or how are you looking at that? Like, how are you looking at the people around you to be like, I feel comfortable enough and I think that we are good friends enough that I can show you A, B, and C?
It's definitely a lot of loyalty that plays into it, and a lot of time. I think the people that I'm closest with are people that have been in my life for a really long time. I'm talking my closest friends. I've been my friend for over a decade at this point.
Oh wow.
I'm the motto, no new friends, really, like when you get older, it's so easy to be like no new friends, and I feel that way. I feel like I'll meet new people, but there's these people that are just cemented in my life. And I guess that's how I see it. They're so cemented in my life that like if this person, God forbid, anything happened, I would be fucking hurt. Like, these are my closest friends. And it comes with loyalty, with just a lot of growth in these relationships, kind of building. And I feel like when these people stay around, especially not family, but stay around for so long and you seem to still make that friendship work, it's gotten to that point that I'm like, these are my closest friends because we've built that. I think other people come around, and if I see them anywhere, or we can randomly talk on social media, those are my friends, but like it's just not the same for me, because again, the levels of me opening up
is different.
And I know with me it can take some time.
What do you mean?
It can really take some time for me to open up. It's not something I do intentionally. It's just how I've always been.
Okay.
Like even when I started a new job, it takes weeks sometimes for me to become open,
comfortable.
Because I'm just watching. That's who I am.
I'm observing.
I'm observing. I'm perceiving things. So for me, like, for that, my shell to be broken, I have to feel like I'm in a space where I can be me. And if I don't feel that way, you ain't getting nothing. And it's just natural for me. It's just this wall goes up that I don't mean to put up, but it's just there. So if that wall comes down, you must have been something special, because it's hard. And I've seen it in even like relationships with men. Like, some things will come up and I'm like, damn, I really got some walls. So really defining why my friends are my friends, or this, it's a growth, it's longevity, it's the trust that's been built.
Okay.
It's just the maturity that's come along through the relationship. I feel like when people date someone and a relationship is new, it's that lovey-dovey phase. All you want to do, all the fun stuff, all the cutesy things, and then you build a relationship to be like, oh, I really want you to be my boyfriend or my girlfriend. And from there, it's like, I'm actually thinking of a life with you, so like, let's move in together.
I think of the same thing.
I think when it comes to friendships, it's like, we were young, we had fun, we were cool, but now like, girl, this guy's getting on my nerves, and we're talking about that. And getting that advice, and then building from there. Like, girl, I'm trying to go to school and do this and this job, and like the building from there. So I just think my closest friends have been the relationships that have been built and continuously built, where we can be real that like sometimes things may crumble, but they're still around because we have that trust in each other to be like, I care so much about you that like, let's talk about this and build this up. So that's for me, for my closest friends. I don't know how loosely I use the term friends. I don't. You guys would have to test me live. Yeah. And just put me in a room and be like, who's your friend?
I'm about to do that to you.
And I'm going to be like, but see, and I know what's going to happen. I'm be like, she's cool. Like, in my mind, I want to say friend, but then now all these other things come into play. Like, is she your friend? You know?
It can be like a silent conversation that like you and I have, but we're also like reading the room and you're letting me know.
Absolutely. I'm not going to be like, girl, you were on the list, but I then started debating. And then like, after I, did the likes and dislikes, and in the end,
pros and cons, I guess you just didn't make the list.
And try again next year.
What?
But I think that in a situation like that, if you put me in a room, I would resort to what I've perceived as someone I can have a conversation with and know that there's no falseness in there. Okay. So I think that's how I would start leaning. So if you put me in a room of people that we know and then you're just kind of like, what, that one? I'd be like, I've seen her around and I think she's alright. Or that one, I'd tell her to take a shot with me, but like, that's as far as it can go.
That's as far as we're going.
Yeah, just because I'm like, and I have a really bad or good habit of, I call it giving the mouse the cheese, of like,
ooh, yeah.
I've witnessed it. Yeah, and it's just kind of like being in situations with people that I'm like, I'm not too sure, but let me give the mouse the cheese. And when they take it, it's like, see, I had a feeling about you, and you just were so quick to grab whatever juice was coming, whatever that snack was, that I'm like, let me put you to the side. Yeah. It's not something I'm proud of, but I do it, and
but it's helping you truly understand if it's worth your time and effort and your energy.
And energy is the key word, because we don't have a lot of that. No. What about you though, in terms of like, you said you use the like friend thing loosely. Yeah. So if I put you in a room and I said,
point to me your friends, I'd be like, yo, I'll say this.
Yes, you would. You would.
I'll say this because again, like as you were talking, I was also rethinking my friends, and again, like since the beginning of time, every single year I've had a different close-knit group of friends, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
But it also, I think that, for example, I have 3 really good friends, Natalia, Jordan, and Jeremy, and I went to elementary school with them. And Natalia, at the point when I was in elementary school, she was my best friend, and we did everything together. And the thing is, are we close? No, but is the love still there? Mm-hmm. And if we ever sit down and talk, will it feel like it was yesterday that we spoke? Yes, definitely. But I wouldn't go to her to talk about the stresses that are happening today, but I would be like, you know what, I haven't seen you in a year, let's make it happen because I miss your face, Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I've also acknowledged that like the people that I've had in my life, they come in and out, and some of them have been beautiful, like crazy connections that are really close, but then others have not. But then there's also the thing that comes to my head where friendships are energy. Like it takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot to like actually have a friend. And so there are times where I might connect with someone and hit it off beautifully, and then the energy, because I start working or I start doing something, like gets a little less. And so like, would I still consider them a good friend? Like probably yes, but again, I think that I guess I subconsciously have realized or have come to terms with, just because you were close with them then doesn't mean that they need to be close with you now, but that doesn't remove what you guys had.
Right, absolutely.
And so I think with that being said, what do I look for in friends, for the group that I would call my brothers and sisters? It's really a big one is reciprocation. Because I know that I can give, and I can pour onto people. And so because I pour onto people, and also because I don't get too attached, I'm also very open to receiving and giving to many people. And so with that being said, like if I'm pouring onto you and you're not pouring onto me, then you're just gonna stay as a friend. But if I'm pouring onto you and I see you reciprocating that and pouring back onto me, you're going to be receiving a lot more of me, because you are letting me know that like I want this to happen and I would like this to continue to happen. And so I don't think longevity is a checklist for me. But I think that it's the reciprocation. I think it's that just being on the same page of what we want with each other. Because also like getting to know people, you get to know like their intentions. Like you get to know that like, are you here because the turn up happens here, or are you here because you actually want to get to know me and want to like grow with each other in some way, shape, or form, something along those lines. And so I think that really me eyeing their intentions or observing their intentions, I think that reciprocation is a big one. And I think that I'm learning about boundaries as well, because I feel like I'm also getting to a point where there are some friends that haven't been as close with me before, but like I understand they have kids, they have a husband, they have a whole ass life that they need to like preoccupy themselves. They're not like I had a core group of friends in college that like when it was time to turn up, when it was time to eat dinner, when it was time to like celebrate someone's birthday or celebrate Thanksgiving, we were all coming together. But it was because the ease of being able to come together during college, when responsibility was just, clubs, class, and that's it, is very different than now. For example, I have a friend named Kayla who she has a husband, she has a child, she has work, and then she just started a business. And it's just like, I cannot expect her to be the type of friend that she was when she was in college than now. And so I think also learning more about being comfortable with each other's boundaries, but being open and like very aware of that.
Understanding.
Exactly. Where it's just like, I think being on the same page of like, listen, this was our friendship before, this is our friendship now. We are gonna be flexible and adaptable, but we're still pouring onto each other in the way, in what capacity is available, if that makes sense. And so I think for me, the biggest one for me is it might be reciprocation. Like if I see reciprocation, then like bet.
I definitely feel you on that. So for me, reciprocation has never been huge. Not that it's never been huge, but for the people that I've had in my life that I will overextend and do so much for, I'm at the point now in my life where I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I don't want to do as much anymore, but at the same time, I'm like, I do so much and I never get the same in return.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, I'm keeping you around because I love you. I'm not going to cold-heartedly be mad at you, or unless it's something that I'm like, we really need to talk this out, but understanding that life happens, people grow up, things like that, and it's just like, I feel like I'm definitely the person where if I see something, an opportunity for someone, I will let them know. Like, I don't care how close we know each other. Like, if I met you one time and just heard about you and I hear something that I feel like you come to mind, I will let you know. I feel like I'm trimming back on that a little bit, just because I feel like if I'm not in the room, what would you say about me? Kind of thing. Like, if that person's in a situation that I could come up, how would that happen? Yeah. Versus I know I would in a heartbeat. And just know saving that energy for people that I feel like do deserve it. Because I feel like it's easy for people to be so accustomed to me being that way that like it's whatever. But when it comes to something I feel like is important that I could be part of, and then I'm not part of it, or I'm not a thought to be included in that person's like life, whatever that's happening in life that's important, it kind of makes me step back. Like, I feel like I would have been that way for you, and now seeing that I'm not even part of these important things in your life, maybe I need to trim back that energy I'm putting into you. So I definitely do get the reciprocation part of it. I think for me, it's just my closest friends. The longevity has played a part because of my experience with my friends. I think that people come along, I'll meet them, get to know them. I just haven't had that sense of friendships that have come along that I'm just like, I want to take part, mainly me, of like really extending outward and growing this into something. I feel like it's the random conversations that happen sometimes that build those bonds and those relationships where I'm like, now all of a sudden like, whoa, this person's actually really amazing. This person actually, we had such a great conversation. Like, this is a person now I want to consider maybe keeping around. So I think that might be what's happened, like can happen now for me. I mean, I don't love people, but I like some people. So the people that I do like, I really try to like, I like to be a little bit of a hype man. So on social media, like I'll see them, they post that picture, I want to hype them up, let them know like you're gorgeous, like all of this, like I want, like all the things I see that I know about, like I will amplify in a sense. So for those people like that, yes. I think now moving into the adulting thing, and how you mentioned how in college it was such a certain way with a group of friends. For me, it's interesting. So I met you in college. But I can't say that we were that group of friends in college because I was older. So you had your group of friends. I was older. I was going through it. I was dealing with my shit. So like I was around when I was around, but I wasn't always around. I mean, barely around, basically. So we became closer following that. I think we even became closer to this whole process for the podcast. Like really definitely got close. But you were one of the people that I always thought of as someone I want in my life. So even through the years that we weren't always hanging out and stuff, you were always considered someone that I'm like, I wouldn't want that friendship to end. But like for me, the group of friends that I would go to all these things in college, that fizzled out. So like transitioning into like friendship breakups, I feel like a lot of people talk about relationship breakups so hard and really don't talk about how much worse it is for a friendship. Because I feel like you embed so much in a relationship with friends that like when that ends, it's like, when I talk about trust issues, you think a relationship gives you trust issues? Losing a close ass friend to like whatever, it's like, damn, who is a friend? So like I went through that. I mean, I had a friend pass away. And then from her passing away, the other close friend I had in that situation, we just fizzled out.
How was that friendship breakup, if I'm allowed to ask?
I can tell you in that moment, I was going through a depression. It was my last year of college. I finished in December because I did an extra semester. So I was done in December, just waiting for May to graduate. I'm not gonna cry on this podcast,
but if you do, it's perfectly fine.
Just bad memories that year, but not having a place to stay, not speaking to my parents, or like it was off and on with them.
So internally there was already a lot going
on. I was just trying to work, trying to figure out life. And I think we've all gone through it with college when you're like ready to leave college and you're just like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, now I need to figure out what is my passion? What do I want to do? So I went through that. And then my friend passed away, and that was traumatic in a sense, in its own way. Friend passes away, graduation is coming, I go through a depression because of all these changes, and then this friendship that's there, we were in different places in what we thought friendship was. And I feel like with that death, I was in a depression that I was just like, I'm here, I'm existing.
Yeah.
We're going through the motion, so I'm feeling like I'm being more understanding on like we're both trying to figure out life and where we're going. And I felt like I was being so much of a friend on the back end. So like if I like work, trying to help them find a job and like asking around to people, but not really showing them that. Just doing it, but never.
Okay.
So like I can tell where that can be a miss in that relationship, and where it could look like I'm not doing anything for the friendship because I wasn't really putting it out there because I wasn't catching anything. Like, so then just knowing that like we would have this time every day that we could meet up because we worked right next to each other. And to me, I took that as like a very important thing in our friendship.
Where it's like just the simple fact that you guys are seeing each other was enough.
Yeah, but then I'm not a phone person all the time, so I'm not always hitting people up. I don't call people. Like, and I feel like that, I don't call people. I don't. Like, I don't call people, and don't FaceTime me. It's just not a habit I have.
Yeah.
If I really like you and you FaceTime me, I guess. But I feel like with that, it wasn't being disclosed on the other end that they wanted more of that.
They weren't letting you know the needs that they needed for the friendship to continue.
And I just really think from the loss of our friend, we were really disconnecting in a sense because we were both going through that loss. And she had people that were there checking on her. But she was looking for me to check on her. But I did not have the capacity
to be able to do that.
Because I'm going through this mourning process too. But my process of going through mourning was isolating myself.
Yeah. Her
process was having people basically checking on her. And I don't even know her process. I can't speak for her.
That's true.
So kind of like I was saying, I feel like she had support. So I don't know how her mourning process was. I know mine. I just know from what I heard or was getting or like reflecting back is she wanted me to be calling her, checking how she's doing. And to me, I thought seeing her every day at lunch was enough.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with a sense of hanging at each other's house. Let's go out to eat. Like, I didn't have that habit at all. I have the habit now that I'm older, but I never did. So I feel like that's another thing where friendship dissolved because I wasn't a go-getter in the sense like, let's go out to eat. Like, I just wasn't that way.
Yeah.
And it didn't click for me because I never had that habit. I mean, my mom had us stuck in this house, like our house, my whole youth. So having that sense of being like, let's go out and like, I never had that habit. So I feel like that's another thing. Like, we were just seeing each other at that time frame, in that little time frame, and I didn't see further than that.
Yeah.
So I understood that how I played a role in it because I just was oblivious to anything further than that, and also just being in depression, figuring out life.
Yeah.
And then I feel like on the other end, there was a lack of understanding that I was also going through this mourning with you. And I felt there was a moment where she said that this person checks on me, this person checks on me, this person calls me, and I'm just like, but those people didn't lose their best friend. We did. So you want me to give you the same energy they're giving you, but they don't feel what I feel.
Yeah.
So,
which is very, very big, because it's more of like, now are you stepping outside of yourself to see my perspective?
Right. And I feel like the times I tried to express it, you know, I get teary, I cry. So like in the times I tried to express how I'm feeling, it wasn't being vocalized because I can only give so much at that moment. And I got to the point that I was like, I honestly don't have any energy. So at this point, like if I have to convince you to be my friend and you're not seeing me being a friend, because in my mind I'm thinking I'm being this friend, then I don't know what to do for you.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So then like we just rarely talked, and like from other people I was getting that she wasn't too happy, and it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I found out later I was being tested in a sense of like comments about like, oh, I haven't called in a while, and it's like, but I'm not knowing this, I'm hearing this after, and like it was like, right, it was like in this time frame I didn't do this specific thing, but I was texting every day, but I didn't do it in a specific way. And I just feel like we were both both mourning that it didn't matter what I was doing at the time. We were gonna fizzle out because we were going through that mourning process. I think it could have been anything. And with her having the support on the other end and kind of looking back, seeking that from me, and me being in this depression, and us being in this such a huge phase in our life of like finishing school and trying to figure out what we want, I think it was just a natural process of how things were gonna work.
Yeah.
I think us feeling the depth of that loss the hardest, because it was like us three, and I know there were other friends that were hurt too, but I think it was always us three at a point. So feeling that hurt together, we were just fizzled out because it was just life was taking us wherever. But from that, I feel like my trust issues were crazy. Like
after this friendship breakup.
Yeah, I was just like, I think just hearing about certain things later from other people about that friendship really hurt, because I thought that like we were that close of friends that I don't need to hear from other people that we're not friends anymore. I don't need to hear from someone that someone told them that we're not friends anymore, because from my end that conversation wasn't coming up. So for me it was embarrassing, one, knowing I'm coming up and finding out that people are saying, oh my god, they're not friends anymore, what happened? Like that pisses me off, just knowing that like that conversation,
you heard it from somewhere else.
Yeah, and like just knowing that conversation is happening, it's like, yo, so and so and so and so are not friends anymore. Like, what happened? Like now people want to hear the chisme, and for me, that pisses me off thinking back. But it happened. I think I just was really angry with the people that I thought were our friends, were her friend. So I didn't have those friends anymore. And then when it be so these are other people. Yeah. When it would be their birthdays, I would say happy birthday. But when my birthday came around, I never heard anything. Yeah. So things like that would come up where I'd be like, well, who is my friend? Because like all of a sudden, you guys are always together. Always,
I'm nowhere to.
Yeah, always taking trips to visit that friend's family that passed away, and I'm never included. Unless it's like an event or something. And then I got to the point that I just was like, I'm good with most people right now. Like, I'm not checking for no one. I've really distanced from every friend and just focused on, I moved somewhere new and I'm trying to figure out life still, and just went through that depression process for a while. So just like that friendship ending was really hard. Like hearing it from other people, feeling like I'm a joke, and then like I was just so embarrassed, feeling like it's some joke now. Seeing these people always being together, having fun, and I'm the excluded one, and knowing that like I thought we were all cool and I'm not getting hit up for anything. And I just also look back at my role I played in it. Like, was I also reaching out to these people and checking how they were doing? No. Yeah. Because I was going through it. Was I just reached out when it was a special event or a birthday. Yeah. But am I texting you saying, how are you doing? No. So now in hindsight, I'm like, obviously they weren't checking for me. I wasn't checking for them. But I was also going through something that I needed people to check on me. And I had like a few people that would be around. But other than that, it went through its phase. And I feel like now I'm still awkward about it. There's no like anger, like no hurt. I went through years of hurt with that. Like that name couldn't come up without me feeling away. But I went through that process that now like it's okay. There's awkward moments, but there's no anger. We can be in the same room. I just feel like people grow apart. And unfortunately, how we grew apart was just a situation that was devastating for both of us. But that shit hurt, girl.
I can imagine. Because again, like the fact that if you're saying that it was the three of you guys, like you guys experienced life together for so long, so then the fact that there's one of them that's not there anymore and never coming back, and then on top of that, like the reciprocation is not being fully understood. Because I think like the biggest thing that I kept hearing from what you were saying with your friendship breakup is that like you both were not communicating with each other truly how you felt and what you needed. Because at the end of the day, like you both are not mind readers.
Right.
And like it was very evident. You both are not mind readers, so you both did not know what you needed.
Right.
And or what capacity you had. Because like I think now we're starting to have that conversation where we are trying to be more mindful about how much space we take up and how much space other people are taking up, and then asking that question. Like I feel like now we're starting to ask the question of like, hey, make sure that when you are talking to your friend, you're letting them know ahead of time, hey, do you have the capacity for me to vent to you about everything that's going on in my life right now? Do you have the capacity for me to like share these things and talk to you about this? Or do you have the capacity to help me with A, B, and C? And like, that wasn't something that was being done before. And so like, who's to say that like, she just really needed you to be like, talk to me, let's talk, let's let it all out, or do A, B, and C. And it's just like, but at the same time, you didn't have the capacity to do any of that. And you were going through your own mourning process. So it's just like, how can, the same way where it's just like, you need to put your mask on first before you put on anybody else's mask. Like you couldn't even put your own mask at that time. So how the hell are you supposed to be helping out somebody when you didn't even know you didn't even know where your mask was?
Right. Right. And I just remember after feeling like there were times that we were in the same place together, and I was just treated so poorly, like such a bad guy, that I'm just like, what did I do to deserve to be treated this way? At that point, it was like, it could still be all love and we can separate, but there was times we were in the same place, and I was like, it was like they were disgusted with me, and I'm like, damn, what did I do to deserve that? But now it's all love, and I just feel like I'm such a simple person in the sense of like, if you do me dirty and you say I'm sorry, I don't know why just saying I'm sorry lifts everything. Like I can be so mad at someone and they just say I'm sorry, and I'm just like, everything about me just changes about that person now. It's happened so many times. I'm like, girl, you're making it too easy. But literally, it's just like that genuine I'm sorry, and I'm still waiting for that. Well, I'm not waiting for that. I still haven't received that.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in still a sense of a place that's like all love, wish the best for you, but I feel like there's still a little nugget. Yeah, but it's okay. Like honestly, I have the people that I'm closest to now, and same for her, and I love that for us. I feel like we've grown, life has happened, that like, again, no hard feelings. My hurt right now and talking about it is just reliving that. But yeah, friendship, relationship breakups suck. And then that whole idea of like, whose friend's really my friend? They're her friends, and like that whole thing comes into play. And then, you know, people don't want to pick sides, but then people do. Yeah. And yeah, it was, girl, time. It was a good 3 years of being mad.
I hear you.
Yeah, but you know, shit happens.
I think the closest friendship breakup that I've had wasn't a full breakup, because I feel like, so I have a good friend named Renee, and we kind of got into like a little fizzle, and like I think now we're in such a beautiful place, but I think we're in such a beautiful place because I continue to like really acknowledge the fact that, one, like, to be a friend for someone, you fully need to understand how they want to be loved and how they want this friendship to be, but then also setting boundaries. I feel like understanding the friendship and then understanding the boundaries is crucial to like a long-lasting friendship, because I think that at one point, and also what capacity we have, because I think at one point her and I were going through the same thing with a guy, and so like we were going through it ourselves, and then we were also going through it in our home, and we lived together, so it was just like whatever problems were occurring or whatever things that were happening, we were like right in each other's faces because we lived together. So it wasn't making things easy. And so like I knew in my heart I was just like, we need boundaries, and we need distance, and we need time to breathe, and we need time to just allow ourselves to process whatever it is that we're going through, whatever it is that we're internally going through, whatever it is that we're communally going through, because if we don't, we're only gonna fuck this up, and it's only gonna get worse. And I remember at one point I told her, and she was just like, what do you mean? It felt in my perspective, it felt like she was just like, no, like if I leave, then like this is the end of it. And I know that like, if you want something, you make time for the things that you want, you make excuses for the things you don't want. And so like, me saying that like needing distance is something that I needed, and something that we needed to help us, was not an excuse, but rather something that like was really needed to be able to do more after. And again, if I wanted to make time, I will make time, which I do make time. But it was I think with her friendship, I really learned that like boundaries are super necessary, and distance and space is necessary, because like, again, because we lived together, we were right in our faces, and like there was no like full comprehension of what really was going on between us individually and us together. So anytime there was some type of communication, I felt like animosity was coming out rather than like understanding. So it's just like, if animosity and negativity is happening, we're not gonna go anywhere positive at all. And so I was just like, we need space, we need distance, and if we don't get it, it's really gonna go downhill. And we did get the distance, and we did get the time, and when we came back together, like I learned more about what was going on with her, because I was able to step back and like process whatever I'm going through, process whatever we went through, and then be able to be like, okay, now I can fully see your perspective, and I can fully understand what's happening to you, rather than just you telling me what's happening and me taking anything personal.
Right, because now you're out your feelings.
Exactly. And so like, distance was the best thing that was needed, and I love her. I still love her. She is my sister, and I'll always be there for her, but I knew that we needed space, because then I feel like then an actual friendship breakup might have happened.
Yeah, and I feel like with something like that, it's like family. We be fighting our siblings all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're living all upon each other. Like, you're not always, you love the people in your life, but you're not always in love with them. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, I only love you because you're my sibling, but I swear, if you weren't, like, I'd knock you out.
You wouldn't be here.
Right. So I think that it's just natural with a lot of friendships when you become so close, and it's like family. All families fight. I don't know. No one can say otherwise.
Yeah.
I've seen it in my life, and you think, oh wow, I have the worst family, and there are some people that do have it bad. But all families fight. All families go through their things. That, even thinking of like my aunts and my mom, and like, there's probably fights I have no clue about, or why. I know I don't have any clue about, but they've gone through it, you know. And it's just like, when you get older, you kind of hear things, and then you get it. But it's like that with the friends that you have in your life that like you're really cool with. And I think for me, transitioning from like these friendship breakups to like these friends that are truly still my friends, and how I've grown as a friend is that I've learned, one, the closest friends to me are the most understanding friends. The friends,
Say that again.
The closest friends are the most understanding friends, and the people that really get me as a friend know that they're not holding me to an expectation or a standard, but they're holding me to who I am as a person and how I treat them. I feel like some friendships go south because we set these expectations for people that are so high, and I get it. We want the best for ourselves, and we want the best for the people that are in our lives, but sometimes we really get blurred by that and don't really take people for who they are. And I feel like the people that are in my life now that I call my close friends are people that, like, if we don't talk for a while, we come back together and we hear what happened. It's like, I'm so sorry this has happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I knew, but I understand that there's a reason why, but I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, if a friend goes quiet, it's, you know, you're like, let me give them some space. But then you also know, like, just let me know if you're okay, and if you're okay, if you want space, I can give you that space.
Yeah.
And you kind of learn your friends through time. You know the friends that need the space.
Yeah.
But then you know the friends that once they take some space, it's like, nah, now I'm all in your face because you need someone in your face. But definitely understanding is the biggest thing. I think the people that really know me and the people that I call my truest friends are people that really let me be. And that when I go into this phase of being isolated, they don't take it personal when all of a sudden have all this energy for us to be out and about and do all these things.
Yeah.
But they're also the friends that I can sit and be like, you know what? I'm sorry, but like, this is what's going on right now and I just need a second.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, all right, girl, I'm here. And then every once in a while, I'm just checking in on you. And the same thing with me. And then it's the growth, it's life changes, it's marriages, it's children.
Yeah.
It's children, it's home buying, it's careers. It's setbacks, not just things moving forward,
Yes.
but being set back and understanding that people
Loss.
really go through things that, like, I can't hold you to so much pressure when you're already dealing with shit. Like, who am I? How am I really your friend if I'm like COVID is an example. Because I was really annoyed with people, like, some tweets I saw is like, oh, you really learn who your true friends are through COVID if they never hit you up and checked on you. One, we're going through a whole
Panoramic.
that we've not one person living on this earth, unless they were living through the influenza in the 1920s, has experienced ever. This standstill, this stop, these changes is traumatic for everyone. So that thing of like, if you ain't checked up on me this whole last year, don't check for me after. But do you know what the fuck they're going through? Do you know how they're handling this? Just because you're right now, like, in saying that, you're saying, I went through some shit and you didn't check for me. But
You were the only one that did it?
did you ask them what they're going through too? And maybe people process things differently. Like me, I say I isolate. That's my sense of coping with certain things. Some people need people.
Yeah.
When they're going through things. So it's like, you can't put that pressure on a friend and say, well, you never looked for me during the pandemic, so after when outside is open, I don't want to check for you. And it's like, I'll give you that. If that's how you see friendship, by all means, I get it, but just don't hold people accountable for something that we have never been through.
Yeah.
And it goes for so many things other than friendships, but I feel like I saw a lot of that. Like, oh, if they didn't call you and check on you, now you know where you stand as friends. It's like,
It don't work like that.
but do you know what they're going through? Because people are losing people. People can't even see the sight of blood. Imagine people seeing on the news every day that thousands of people are dying. And then you're saying, well, you never checked on me. It's like, but do you know what's going on in their mind?
Exactly.
Do you know the paranoia? We saw what happened. No toilet paper, no sanitizing wipes. Like, people were cleaning out these supermarkets, and we're over here talking about, you never checked for me. Well, you don't know what paranoia they might be going through. You know, you don't know. Or maybe they don't have the energy. It's a lot going on right now, and I just don't have the energy to sit here and say, what are you up to?
At the moment,
Bitch, it's a pandemic. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm stuck inside like you know, like, I feel like it can go that way, and I feel like a lot of people put so much pressure on people without really thinking about step out of who you are.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Step out of who you are and how you handle it, right? Step out of, like, I'm the friend that will check on you the whole time. But why does the other friend have to do that? You know? And if that's what you need, then that's something you guys have to understand.
Vocalize it.
And that's something you have to understand. It's like you say, reciprocating. If I'm checking for you and you're not checking for me, that doesn't mean you're dead to me. That means I understand what this is. When you check for me, I'll be here. You know, when you come around, as long as you're intentionally not trying to do nothing dirty to me. I can't sit here and be like, outside when the panoramic is over, I ain't talking to you no more. Nah, if you come up to me and you're so different and it's like this new sunshine in you after this, girl, come on in, you know?
The
like,
door's
let's
open.
celebrate, you know? But just, I think for me, just having the closest friends, the most important people in my life are the people that are really understanding and just really, we give each other the space to breathe, but we just know we instinctively know if shit goes down with you, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
And if shit goes down and you don't want me there, just know I am there as soon as you do.
Yeah.
And just not holding people accountable for shit that you decided.
Yeah.
It's holding people accountable for things that it's like, because I'm this way. Well, if they're really your friend and you care about them, you really have to consider them as people. And maybe it's been a long time coming and you felt this such a long time and this was the breaking point. It happens. Communicate. Let them know. Maybe give them the room to acknowledge and improve. But if you don't tell people, it's like you set them up to fail and then now you're like, you're a failure.
Because of the test that you didn't know. Right. Because of the test that you gave me that you didn't tell me that you gave me.
Right. And knowing the kind of person I am, I'd be failing on purpose. Just knowing that you tested me. But even people fail open book tests. If you're not directly saying, I'm feeling this way, can we talk about it? You're not allowing anyone to get, like, to really say their piece in something. And I just feel like, for me, I would really feel a way if a situation and like if a friend feels a way about me, tell me. I guess that's me saying I'm more communicative in that sense, or I like to be honest. Tell me. If you don't tell me, you're not dead to me, as long as you give me the mutual respect. But when I come around again, if we talk about it, we talk about it. If we don't, at least knowing that there's so much love there that maybe one day eventually we can work through it.
Yeah.
But communication is always the greatest thing in any relationship, regardless.
Girl, yes, and yes.
Because sometimes you talk to friends and you be realizing, damn, I was so in my feelings, I wasn't even listening to you.
Exactly. When you said the word understanding, I loved it because you were speaking to the fact that it's not just, the important thing is not just understanding in the sense that they understand you, but understanding each other.
Yeah.
Because it's literally, again, like, it's just the same way that we have love languages, there's the friendship languages that we just don't fully talk about. But it's just like we understand each other because we've communicated that, hey, I'm the type of person that I need to isolate. Hey, I'm the type of person that would really appreciate a phone call. Hey, I didn't receive this from you, and I actually would have loved to receive this from you. Can you, like, moving forward, you might have not known that, like, I'm the type of person that would really appreciate a good morning text when, like, I'm feeling down or whatever it is, like, this is what I want and this is what I need. And so, like, you saying that understanding part, like, really hit ground, because it's just like, if we're understanding, we're both on the same page. We're both communicating with each other, and we're both letting each other know what we have the capacity for, what we have boundaries for, and what exactly is going on, and how we can fit into that mold and understand that mold. Because again, it's just like, you might like something certain way, and someone else might like something else a certain way, but there's that understanding of, like, I know that you won't be doing the same thing as me, but because I love you and because you are my friend, I will do it as such. And then it also made me think about when I said reciprocation, I definitely want to be clear and acknowledge that, like, when I said what I look for in friendship is reciprocation, I'm not expecting you to do the same exact thing that I'm doing. I'm not, like, reciprocation does not mean that because I bought you a donut, which I love, FYI, Glazed donuts.
If you want her coffee order too.
But basically, like, if I buy you a donut, I'm not expecting you to buy me a donut, but in the sense that, like, there is some type of energy that you are reciprocating to me to let me know. And I think it's really crucial in the sense of, like, understanding that if someone is a certain way, they're gonna love you a certain way, and they're gonna do it in their manner, but they're gonna reciprocate it some way, shape, or form. And it's not tit for tat. So I hope that that made sense.
It did. I think I just more mentioned it after. For some people, take it so hardcore. Yeah. And, like, reciprocating it, it's like, it is the energy thing. And really, when an understanding comes into play, knowing that, like, once I learn you and know how you show your love, understanding that that's reciprocation in the sense of how I show it versus you.
Exactly.
And I think, like, when I mentioned the closest friends, I know where sometimes something might happen, or they'll do something that I have the habit of just being like, I'm not a fan of that. I know with these people, it doesn't irk me because I know that's genuinely how they are.
Yeah.
And if I'm in a mood and I'm in my feelings,
Yeah.
and my mind is not taking that as who they are, I don't press it. I let it. And then if it's something that continuously bothers me and I feel like I have to bring it up, I will. But I've been in situations where you'll know when I got an attitude. You just be knowing. I'll just text hi. It just be a normal hello, and you just be like, oh, okay. And I just be like, damn, like I didn't even say anything, but yeah, you're right. I'm feeling away today. It's happened. It's happened.
Yes, I've received text message from Daphne, and I'm just like, oh, we not feeling good today. But that's that understanding and like really fully getting to know the person as an individual rather than like what they are giving to you.
And that's part of it. Your friends shouldn't be your friends because what they offer you or what they're giving to you only. And I feel like some people are that way. Some people have people in their lives because of what they give them. And those are the people you might have to take a second look at. But I think my friends that are in my life are not my friends because of what they offer me. They're my friends because I genuinely love them, and they're in my life for a reason, really. I can't really define it. And it's not because of what they offer me. They offer me amazing friendship. I guess that might be it. But for me, it's just, I love these people and who they are. They're go-getters in a sense. And I feel like the closest people to me are motivators. And they're not just they're positivity in my life. I think that's what keeps people around for me. And I'm not saying like I keep them around because they're positive. Like these friends are in my life because I don't see myself not having them in my life. That's why they're my friends. But the positivity they bring into my life is a big thing, and I want the same back. Like in terms, I give the same back. And even through the hard times, knowing that these people I can go to for that pep talk in a sense, or just knowing that they exist in a sense and don't make me ever feel away and don't make me feel anything negative. And I think that comes with growth. I think I've seen some young friendships. Even now I see some people that are younger than me go through some friendships, and I'm like,
sweetheart,
y'all need to work through that. Another example, the show Girlfriends. I feel like, to give an example, I watched this show now that I'm older, and I just was like, one, I need to accept the fact that I enjoy the show for the messiness, because Black women should be allowed to have that messiness, that quirkiness, with all personalities that we have. We're not boxed in this sense of how we have to be so perfect. And that show is an example of some of these friends can really be messy and really have ideals that like Joan's obsession with marriage was something I'm just like, girl. But through thinking about it, just seeing like, would those friends be my friends? I don't know. But I know with Joan, her and Tony, she really worked at it for a reason. And they went through some shit that I'm just like, I don't know if we'd be friends. But knowing that like they had something there that kept them friends for as far as it could go. I think where it ended made sense. I feel like it was a breaking point for them. And you saw the struggle through that friendship breakup. But I think that show is a reminder of like how some friendships can be. And I just don't think friendships need to be that hard, but everyone's different. I mean, it might be just be on TV, but I'd be seeing some difficult ass friendships, and I just like, that's mad work for someone you just want that you choose to have in your life, I watched this other show, and it's just like two white girls and one mixed girl, and they be doing some things, and I enjoy it for the fact that it's not perfect. But sometimes be like, damn, like someone asked one of the girls in the show, like, why are your friendships so like complicated? And she's like, it's not complicated for us because they get each other. But I'm watching, I'm like, sometimes y'all a little extra, but I guess I might be that same way in my friendship and don't even know it. But we just get each other and understand each other and know that we as people are our own individual people, and we just work well together and we're friends. And
you put in the work to make it happen.
Yeah, you do. And I think that it takes work. It's not something that's just easy and it's like, well, we're friends because we're friends. It might feel easy because you have that relationship, but like you said with the friend you live with, it's like you go through these phases, but when you step out of it, knowing that you still want to truly be friends, you do the work and the changes and the boundaries to make it happen, to make it work. And then it's hindsight. Sometimes you got to step away from something, because I've seen some friendship breakups as like these people hate each other, and it's like if they really just have the conversation, it wouldn't be no hate. And it really isn't hate. It's that thin line of love, where that thin line of loving someone so much and that thing ending, it feels like hate, because that feeling is so powerful and it's so strong. But some communication, girl, understanding.
Communication and comprehension, I think, is huge. And stepping into you, I think that like huge themes that are popping up through our conversation that I've been thinking about, and ways for us to be able to step into our best self, is really sitting down with yourself, and like really thinking like there are, again, love languages that we know how we want to be loved, and thinking about the love languages, but also thinking about how do you want to be loved by your friends. Like, do you actually know, like, you know, I have a friend named Julia that like her love language is coffee. So like, you know, when I know that she's feeling down, my ass is sending her some like $10 on Venmo to make sure that she has coffee in the morning. But like, do you know what brings you life, and how you want to be cared for, and what you like and what you don't like? Like, are you the type of person that wants to receive text messages, to be like called up if people don't hear from you? Like, are you the type that want to be on the phone at least once a month? Like, you know, like you've been living on this earth for some time now. So from the time that you've been living on this earth, what brings you life that your friends have done before, or that someone has done before, that you'd like to continue being reciprocated through your friends? And like, are you the type of person that likes to be isolated? Are you the type of person that needs that if I'm going through it, I need all of y'all to be sending me a text message, and it needs to be a group text to like, you know, to hear me vent and bull? But like, what is it that you need as a friend, so that you fully know when you are stepping into friendships moving forward, like, this is what is gonna make me happy in friendships. This is what's gonna allow me to continue to, you know, feel seen, feel heard, feel loved in a friendship, and like really sit down with yourself and figure that out. Like, what is it that you need? What are the qualities that you need for a friend to fully be, for you to be seen, heard, and what was that last one? Loved through your friends. And then I think that's the number one thing that came to mind, because it's just like, again, had some of these people known what you needed, and you communicated that, things might have not gone as crazy as things might have gone.
It's a snowball effect, right?
Yes.
So if it keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, you have this massive ball just rolling towards you guys, and it's just,
it can't stop.
It won't. And sometimes the honest truth gets so lost in all the other things that come in between, ego and all of that, by the end of it, the point is lost. Completely. And with friendships, it's just one of those things that you know and you learn as you go, and shit happens. I saw something where people were like, I ended a 20-year friendship. It happens. I mean, 20-year divorces happen. So 20-year friendships ending happens. People grow apart. People grow up. People change.
People change and evolve.
Who I am today is not who I was 10 years ago at all. And who I am today is not who I'm going to be in 10 years. Just knowing that the people you have around, cherish them now, because life also is not certain at all. The only thing that is for certain is that life will come to an end, and that's the only thing that's certain. And just knowing that you do cherish the people that you really care about. And it's a hard world out here, so just really enjoy life with the people you love.
Yes, and I think that one thing that really helps me and has been helping me is that take people as they are. Take people and moments as they are, and I think that's why I've been able to be okay with just the friends that the movement of friends and close friends, because I will take you as you are. If you want to give me your love and give me your time and energy at the moment, and that is what you have the capacity for, then like I will take it all in. And if tomorrow, you know, life has changed for you and you no longer want to do that, I'm not gonna feel some sort of way. I'm not gonna feel some sort of way, so I will take that friendship as it is. And you know, if it continues, it continues, and if it didn't, I appreciated all that it was, and just keep going.
It's all love at this point. But for stepping into you, we step into fashion forward. And for me, I've kind of been all over the place on what to bring up for fashion forward. So yeah, to be real, I had like 10 thoughts and now I have 0. So I think for me, fashion forward has been, I guess I'll talk about in terms of friendships, a trend that I've seen this last 2 years that I've actually loved is like people having like these birthday party things and like having everyone match cohesively.
Ooh.
Or like another thing I've been enjoying is like friend photo shoots. We always see these relationship photo shoots, maternity shoots, but seeing like friendships, like these friends actually like, let's, you know, immortalize this relationship in a sense, and they just put together these beautiful photo shoots. So I feel like for me, that's what's coming into play is like this cohesive thing I've seen mostly between women.
Yeah.
But even guy friends guy friends we know, their theme for their birthdays is like wear a certain color. And it's just always been their theme. And or I have these guy friends I know that everything they do, they take a group picture. Everywhere they go, no hate, they take a group picture. But I think just that for me, and kind of tying into fashion forward, is that trend of like saving those moments and like adding the extra glare with the fashions and getting dressed up. And then like really when you're really cool with certain friends, or understand, like my friends understand that I like to get dressed, so like those spaces, knowing that like we have those moments that we want to get dressed up and cute together, and we just kind of like, we just fly together.
Listen,
we just put together in a sense that when we walk into the room as friends, we're just glowing, and you're just like, damn, I want to be their friend. But for me, I'll let you kind of chime in too in terms of that, but like fashion forward for me has been seeing like these birthday parties where like the browns has been it, and especially the browns on brown women, so beautiful, and it's my favorite thing to see. And honestly, you know, I love women more than anything, especially Black women. I love more than anything, and then just seeing these photo shoots together. I know one friend group that did like a beach photo shoot and everyone wore orange. Ooh. And you know, orange on melanin ain't
gorgeous.
So for me, fashion forward is that just seeing like friends come together, get put together, dressed up, and like these themes that come into play. It's like sometimes it's the little nuances that make these friendships fun, and just knowing that like when we come together, we get put together, and that's a love language for me. I feel like seeing these things, it's the effort, and seeing like we're going to celebrate this friend, but we're putting this effort to be mad fly for them. So fashion forward is that. I was thinking about that throughout too and trying to remember, but yeah.
I like it. I've been a huge fan of that. I'm always trying to like, if we're trying to do the same color, or what I like to do is I like to see is like different shades of that color. I love it. Like if we're okay, the color is yellow, but like give me neon yellow, give me some like, you know, I don't even know if the burgundy yellow is a word.
No.
Girl, I don't know what was going on in my head. But the shades, the different shades. And then I also saw that it was like color block. So like everybody was wearing a rainbow.
I did see that.
And it was like
just
head
to toe that one color.
Yes.
And every single outfit gave me everything I wanted.
Yes, and yes. So yes, and yes.
And that's why when I think about brunch, I don't know why brunch stays at such a high pedestal in my life. But for me, brunch just means friends coming together, looking fly, kikiing over bottomless mimosas, and leaving tipsy and enjoying life.
Yeah.
That's what brunch means to me.
I'm here for it.
Yes, and just being fly and glowing and sitting outside, hopefully enjoying this, waffle and chicken and mimosa. Yeah.
I'm here
and
for
maybe a shot of tequila.
Yes.
But that's fashion forward. It was a little broader than fashion, but yes, cohesiveness in these friendship groups when they go out. You look like a unit in a team, and I love it. So
nice. So then, moving on from fashion forward, it is what is resonating with she. And so, Daphne, what are you resonating with?
I guess I will play on me speaking on the circle last episode. Have you caught up? Absolutely not.
Kiki, yes, girl, I did.
Everything.
Yes.
You watched everything.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. So since you've watched everything, I feel so much better. Girl, a lot has happened. A lot has happened that I just don't know what to tell you guys. And by the time you see this episode, it's going to be over. So what doesn't matter what I say, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it anyways. But one, I still love Courtney, but strategy is going mad hard. It's kind of like making me Courtney and River. Like, I love the Kardashians with the C, but like those two are so strategic and I get it. But like, it's made me find my favorite and who I want to win because Khloe. I want Khloe to win.
Okay.
Why? I want Khloe to win because I feel like she's been her most honest, messy, disheveled, quirky self.
Flirty.
Oh, flirty. I feel her on that though. Flirty self, but in the sense that like she hasn't faked it. Like she's the naivete that she has with like Trevor and being like, oh, me and Trevor have to get married thing. I love that about her.
The fact that she was just like, when are we getting married? I'm just like, girl, you don't even know how he really looks.
Right.
It's one picture. Like, what?
And it, just for me, I love her because with every single person, I feel bad that when she gets in she got into the kind of thing where Mitchell and Trevor hits her up and it's just like, yo,
this is what's going down.
The Joker was Courtney and this is what Courtney said. And now she's like, damn, who do I trust?
Yeah.
And I feel like she's been so honest and true all around that she's put in this position now to be like, damn, everyone's being so strategic. I don't know who to trust.
What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. But I really love her. I loved her on Too Hot to Handle because she's just a mess that I love. Like, and she's just herself, like, all around. So for me, I do want her to win just because I feel like I've grown to really love her honesty in it and her just being herself and the quirkiness.
Yeah.
I still love Courtney. I love River and that whole team together. So like in the end, I want them three to be together. I love Trevor. Delisha, I believe is her name. I love her, but I've gotten to the point that I'm just over it. Like at this point, I just don't want you to win. I don't know why. I don't.
Really?
And then Mitchell, I don't. I get like she deserves to win too, but there's something about it that I don't. I'm like, sorry, girl. I want Khloe to win. You know?
Yeah.
But I think it's when her and Mitchell got together to kind of like get in Khloe's head.
That's when I was like, what? Yes.
Really?
Yes. Because the thing is that like Courtney and River have been playing a strategic ass game. And I'm sorry, but Trevor has been sliding. They have been sliding because they've just been coasting and not really, they're just getting by because Khloe's there and Khloe's giving you attention, and so and naturally they're gonna be like, I bet, but she hasn't done anything to let me know that like I need to be more strategic. She honestly just took advantage that Khloe went to her, and so she grabbed onto that, but that wasn't her doing.
Right.
So like when she said we're doing A, she broke it.
I do appreciate that.
She
part.
said A, B, C, and D. Like that's what we're doing. So when she did that, I was just like, yes.
Now we're playing the game.
Yes, because the thing is, Courtney and River have been doing that the whole time. So like now there's actual like competition out here.
That's true.
So when that happened, I was like, oh, I bet.
I was nervous. When that happened, I was nervous.
And I was also scared because, again, continue spoiling alerts.
If you're here, it's your fault.
when they decided to hit up Khloe to let her know that like, hey, we're gonna tell you, I thought it was too early. Okay. I thought it was too early. So the plan was that we're going to tell her the truth, and hopefully in telling her the truth, she will come to our side of the team, basically, because there's already a group that exists that she is a part of. And so when they were gonna have that conversation, I thought it was too early. But again, like, she is naive, so that also plays into it. But when it did happen, it went good in the sense that, like, their plan wasn't backfired, if that makes sense. Their plan of trying to convince her didn't backfire completely. It's not there yet, but they've put that nugget in her head for her to start thinking about and figuring out what she's going to do.
Right, and I get that, and I feel like that's why I like her so much, because she holds such a high standard. Being herself the whole time, people are competing to grab her.
Yeah.
You know, and then I feel you on them finally being like, we need to get Chloe on our end. So Trevor and Mitchell, just because, like, I got nervous now. Now I'm like, oh shit, Chloe. Like, now I'm worried about River and Courtney. Now I'm worried about the Kardashians. That episode ended, and that next episode I was trembling because I'm like, yo, who's going home?
Yeah.
Because it was just so up in the air. So I guess that, like, heat from it was great. I think that Lance, I forget her name, the one that played Lance.
Yeah.
And the one that played Emily.
Yes,
how
I
they
forgot
became
that
that
existed.
guy.
That's unfair. That was unfair. Sorry. That was unfair. I'm sorry.
I still think they're still in it, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't think they should win because of that. But I found that loophole, in a sense, I enjoyed just because I'm like, damn, they're mad smart on this show. Whoever's planning these things out is doing such an amazing job. Like the Truth or Dare, like when they had that episode, like they really out here like, we're just gonna have y'all fish each other out with these games.
Basically.
What else happened? I mean, Kat went home because she was dumb.
I think that I
She just
really
played it
liked.
wrong.
I really liked Kat.
I didn't.
Because when she started, she was playing so strategic and she was playing so good. But I think because she was doing that, she got too risky. Like, I think that she should have done that, settled down a little, allowed whatever to happen, and then come back. But because she kept striking, I was just like, damn, you went too hard.
And the fact that she just basically tried to say, Chloe's lying. And she was saying that Chloe's lying, she's a liar, she's lying. It's like, really back. And then she want to pull the Kardashians in a group chat without Chloe talking about, I think Chloe was lying. Girl, you don't know who's besties with who, and you over here straight calling someone out. So bye.
But I will say, I think my favorite player is Mitchell.
Mitchell's not there no more.
Mitchell?
The tall, statuesque guy? Girl, have you watched everything?
I thought I did.
He's gone.
Mitchell, isn't Mitchell the one that's teaming up with Trevor?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Then I guess I didn't see the rest of it.
Well, spoiler.
Well, I liked Mitchell.
I didn't.
Because he was always spot on. In the sense of his intuition. His intuition was always on point. And I was having this conversation with a friend, and we talked about this, where it's like his intuition was on point,
It was.
but he didn't act on it.
Yeah.
And when he decided to, it was too late.
Very late.
Oh yes,
You did
yes,
see that.
because River went to go see him.
He went to see River.
Yes. Damn. But yeah, that Mitchell was my favorite.
So I don't want River to win. Love Lee, the personality, but he only wants the money to build a pool.
He said a pool.
But he didn't tell them that. But like, I was like, all right.
But technically, he's looking out for Courtney. So technically, like, in reality, he doesn't care about this pool fully. He cares about like yeah.
I knew. But yeah, sorry. I want Chloe to win. That's it. I don't care about everybody else. I want Chloe to win.
Understood.
Yeah. What about you? You said, well, Mitchell's gone, so it can't be Mitchell.
No. Just because he's my favorite character does not mean that I wanted him to win.
Okay.
But I actually want Trevor to win. And
I wouldn't be mad.
And I want Trevor to win just because, like, that baby is just so cute. So I I want a happy ending for them.
I mean, I want the family to have a happy ending, yeah, and I love how like she's playing her husband, but like for me in a sense, like great. There's something about her from the beginning I was really sticking with. I think when it came to the strategy, it put me off, and I guess it's not fair because everyone was doing that, but I want Chloe to win, so sorry.
No. Hey, but you have your preference.
But if they won, like I'm saying they, because at this point it's Trevor, it's Alicia,
and the daughter.
Right. If they win, honestly, if Chloe doesn't win, I would want them to win.
Yeah.
I love Courtney, and I feel like Courtney should be at the top, but genuinely in the end, I want Chloe to win. If not, Alicia, Trevor, the whole family, because they do deserve it. And yeah. I won't be mad.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to win.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. It comes on Wednesday, so the next time we film, we'll already know who won, and we'll just talk about it again. But I feel like you lean towards more of the strategy and really enjoy that, and I lean more towards the people that are just being a mess and funny in themselves in a sense.
Yeah.
And I do like Courtney because of that.
Yeah.
And I do like Delisha. Like when they played Pony, Delisha pulled off her shirt and she was like, And do you notice that her hair is different in every episode?
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. She was like, I'm gonna come with all my wigs, and all different types of hair. I don't know how much luggage she got for all that, but every day she has a different hairstyle.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
So word, that's what's resonating with me.
And what is resonating with me is so what's resonating with
that
me
build up though
is I recently connected with a friend and speaking on friends, so again, like I my friends and certain people, like I might not talk to you for thousands and thousands of years, but if we have a good friendship, regardless of how long it's lasted, when we do come together, it is beautiful and it is abundance. And so one of my friends, his name is Kenzie. I went to school with him. We recently connected during 420 and it was beautiful.
So that's so quickly. During when?
420. And so but he connected me with a new product that he just recently came out with, and it's called Lavender Dreams. I'm gonna just pick up.
Can I reach?
You wanna
Where's she at? Where is it at? Right here.
And so he recently came out with Lavender Dreams, which is this room spray, and it's beautiful. I love it. One, because it's a black man speaking on aromatherapy, two, mental health, and really putting mental health in the spotlight within his community, but also specifically mental health for men, and on top of that, mental health for black men. And so what I love about this spray is that it's connected with a scan QR code, and the QR code is connected to a song that he created that was inspired by this Lavender Dreams. So like it's like hip hop, mental health, aromatherapy, like, thing that he's trying to do, that he is doing. He's not trying, he is doing. And so we'll definitely put his information somewhere on the screen.
It's usually right here.
Let's see. But Lavender Dreams, I think that he's still selling it. I know that he's still in the process of like trial and figuring out how it is and how will people like it and all that jazz. I've loved it. I'm gonna be real honest. It's a room spray, but I've sprayed it on me. Not gonna lie. I was gonna say taste. It smells beautiful, very calming, soothing, uplifting vibrations. And then you can listen to, what you can do? You can spray your room, put the barcode, sit down, lay, enjoy the smell, and enjoy the music. All done in one bottle.
I think that's really thoughtful, like the way it's been thought out. The packaging is beautiful and it's so interesting, and I think that's what I love the most about it. It's something that you would probably expect from a woman. The thoughtfulness and how it's thought out, but knowing that like a black man is putting this together with the thought of other black men and their mental health. And the packaging is mad cute. Like, I would have saw this and be like, oh my God, this is cute.
Exactly.
And just, it's unexpected, but it's needed.
Yeah.
And I love it.
So that is what is resonating with me.
Go ahead, Kenzie. I see you. I smell you. I hear you.
But with that being said, I think that we are finito today, and so I am Eerees Iris,
and I am Daphny Emily.
And as I always end it, they can listen, he can listen, but she is speaking.
And we might be one more drop in the ocean, but we just might be that last sip, that last podcast to quench your thirst. Bye.